funny how people don't always utilize the creators in the space. What has your experience been like with that?
There's not many women in our industry, so it's very, very difficult for me to go out and find like actual female installers.
Do you have any tips for creators, other people out there?
Well, you're gonna get sore here and there depending
Yeah.
how hard you work, right?
Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown. This is the Hook Better Leads podcast. And today I've got Samantha on. I'm representing Prime Grip today. What's the company name?
My company?
Yeah.
My roofing company?
Yes.
Summit Sisters Roofing, but I'm Roofer Girl, so.
Yes, Summit Sisters Roofing, but Roofer Girl on social media. You probably follow her already. What's your top platform?
I would say Facebook. So Facebook is my biggest platform. TikTok I find it harder to build, but I'm at like 60-something thousand on there, and I think YouTube is my smallest platform. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think it is that has created this culture that you guys have? Like the Summit Sisters culture, the whole Prime Grip group. How did you guys all get together, and it's kind of a cool group?
Yeah, so for me, I feel like it was like how it started out for me was me just like following my heart and my passion. And I'm really passionate about roofing. This is what changed my life. Before I got into roofing, like I was single mom, struggling, having a hard time paying my bills and stuff like that. And then I got into roofing and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And it changed my life so much. And I feel like I created the Roofer Girl page, and after people like started seeing me online, and I feel like some people really connected with me that way. And Primeline was one of the people who like reached out to me and they wanted to work with me and just kind of built from there, and everything just kind of like snowballed from there. So yeah.
It's always crazy to me, like with Primeline, they've been smart enough to kind of get, I see why partnering with all these people that know how to get views is really good for our business.
Yeah.
But I'm a little confused sometimes in the trades, particularly roofing, where people don't really, like the creators don't really get as many sponsorships as I think they should. Like people that know how to get views, that's actually really hard to do. And most of these, all these vendors, all these manufacturers, they don't know how to get this stuff organically.
Yeah.
So why do people, or maybe you're really good with sponsorships, I don't know, but like in my experience, it just feels a little bit funny how people don't always utilize the creators in the space. What has your experience been like with that? Or do you have a lot of sponsorships?
I got a few sponsors, and for me, I just feel like having my bigger platform and also having like my purpose, and it's always something good and genuine. Like I do a lot of charity projects and stuff like that. So I'll go to people and then I'll ask them if they would be willing to like, sponsor some vents or underlayment or the shingles or whatever. And usually like when you're giving back, like people want to be a part of that. So yeah.
So you work in that stuff and that helps attract the sponsors and stuff like that?
I think so.
How do you, I mean, you must be pretty well networked as well. Like, how do you get these conversations going with people in the industry?
Like I don't normally approach, the company. Usually they will approach me. How I met with Primeline was I made a video with one of their knives, and I didn't know Primeline. It was my favorite knife and I was using it, and I made a video about it, and Jamal had seen my video. And I was at a roofing competition, and he came introduce himself to me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I watch your videos and all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like I didn't know you made this knife and whatever." That's when we first met. And then it was maybe like, I want to say like a year or two later where where we finally like started working with each other. So yeah.
What's the best way to approach a creator with like, I think that it's a little intimidating. I work with creators. I sometimes pitch them or like, hey, we should work together and things like that. But I don't know. Do you start with like, hey, I've got this budget and what can you do for me? Because like for me, I have to be so scrappy, right? Like I don't have a huge company. So I have to figure out like, can you do 3 videos for $1,000 or what is the pitch supposed to be if you're approaching a creator without looking like a sad sack if you don't have a huge company?
So you're talking like you're the one looking for sponsors?
Yeah. I actually do have sponsors, but I'm actually talking about like as a brand in the industry, how do you approach creators like you? Like, how would you prefer to be approached if somebody wanted to work with you?
Well, like I have a lot of people approach me. I don't know, just when like we can connect and share like the same ideas on things. Like I want to support you because you empower women in our industry and stuff like that, stuff that you can like relate on. Yeah.
So figure out what they care about, talk to them about that stuff.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and then maybe send them some free shit first.
Yeah, and that's a perk. That's a good thing. You got to offer something, right?
Send them some free shit. Send them samples of the product. Send them swag.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, how do you work together? Like, how do we work with you? Maybe.
Yeah. And that's normally what they would do. Like they would send their products and material or whatever they want you to promote. They would send it to you. And the thing that I like to do is like wear their brand. Like I'm closely affiliated with Primeline, so I'm always wearing their hat. I used to wear a pink hat all the time, but now it's Primeline hat. So like everybody knows I'm affiliated with them. I use their tools. I wear their hat and stuff like that.
How's Primeline growing? Like through this influencer strategy that they've done, like you guys are out there so much with it. How is it growing now? Like
I think it's going amazing. From what I hear, like they started out with Josh, the best damn roofer.
Yeah. And
Josh had like all these great ideas, and he just kind of like gave the ideas to Primeline, and they went with it, and it just worked so well for them. Yeah.
So, with your group, Summit Sisters Roofing. Is it kind of a loose group of people, or is it really like these 5 girls roof together all the time?
So a lot of people think, like within my videos, that all the girls work for me.
Yeah.
Not all of them work for me. A lot of them have their own companies, and the reason why it's like that is because there's not many women in our industry. So it's very, very difficult for me to go out and find like actual female installers. I noticed when I was living back in Alberta, it was actually really easy for me to find women out there. But as soon as I moved to Niagara, it was like it's so hard for me to find women out there. I don't know what it is.
You can't just throw a wig on Josh every once in a while and get him on.
We do that once in a while, but no.
Because it is kind of, sorry to talk to you about best damn roofer, but he actually is a pretty damn good roofer.
And he's a good guy too. Like, don't let his content fool you.
That is an interesting thing, like where there's a little bit of character, and it's cool because it's fun to have comedy in the industry and have larger than life characters. How much do you feel like Roofer Girl is a character for you, and how much do you feel like it's just your authentic self?
I really feel like I'm my own genuine person. With Josh, when you look at his page says fictional character on it. He's just, this is not truly who he is. Like I know the guy personally. I spent a lot of time with him. We do a lot of roofs with him, a lot of content, and he's actually a really great guy. So yeah.
What would you say, like, because there's different ways to go about this. I do think the people that do the character thing, it works. Like, I just hung out last week with a dude, his name's Mr. Fat Cheeto.
Okay.
And he's like an HVAC character.
Yeah.
And it's doing very well for whatever reason. People like the skits and stuff like that.
Okay.
Do you ever do skits as part of your content?
I did before, and they actually went really well. But then after a while, it's just like I'm getting better at talking in front of the camera, as you can see. Yeah. But like back then, it was just like I just like to record myself as I'm working, and that's all I would do. But no, I don't really do skits. Yeah.
Okay. Are you a loyal? Just to talk about random things in roofing for a second, you're a real roofer.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of not real. I mean, like not even salespeople and owners, and a lot of those people are on our show. So I don't want to be disrespectful. But as a person working with these products day in and day out, what are some of your favorite products right now? Have they changed over the last few years? Like shingles, tools, etc. Like what's your favorite Primeline tool? What's your favorite shingle?
Okay. So like I don't like talking about products either because I don't want to bash anybody or I just don't, I don't want to say anything negative about anything, but I would say my favorite shingle to install would probably be the Owens Corning because of the nail strip, and because also Malarkey because they have like a really big nail zone. So yeah.
Those shingles are thick.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're like, it feels like substance. I feel like, I'm not talking any smack. I'm just saying like there are some thinner shingles, but Malarkey is like it's like heavy. It feels like heavy duty.
It is, and their legacy shingles, like I know those ones are really, really tough to cut, especially when it's cold outside. And then they have the Windsor ones where you can't even cut when it's cold outside. So like we would have to use the air knife just to cut them. So they're like really solid shingles. Yeah.
What about your favorite prime grip tool right now?
Probably the knee pads. Like I would never work without my knee pads and the knives, the hammerhead knife. Yeah.
This is a subscription to knowledge, the most in-depth knowledge that you can find in our industry. We're spending the money to make sure that our production value is so high that you'll actually absorb the information and feel like you're getting something premium at the Building Experts Institute.
You know, why are there not as many female installers as you'd like, for instance, because you're trying to work with more females on the Summit Sisters team, and how can we go about getting more of them?
I've been trying to do this for so long. It's so hard. Like it came to a point where I was not really hiring women, but I would do like a work interview because I would have girls that would come in, work like a day or whatever, and be like, I can't do this. Or, you know, they would last like maybe 2 weeks and just like give up. And I was putting like all this time and energy into training people only to have them quit. So I started doing like work interviews, and then I would let them decide at the end of that if this was something that they wanted. But I feel like the difference right now in Alberta, like I found women to work out there so easy. And then I moved out to Niagara. I feel like childcare is like a big issue out there because in Alberta, it was so easy. It's so easy to get your kids into daycare, get subsidy from the government and stuff like that. In Niagara, it's like a 2-year wait list for a woman. So I was having really like a lot of trouble finding women out there. Another thing is I feel like a lot of women don't believe in themselves and think that they can't do it, think it's too hard. And I've recently joined football too. And like even finding women who want to, you know, join tackle football is really difficult. So
you're playing tackle football.
Yeah, I just started
badass.
Doing that. Yeah. So yeah, but like even it's like the same thing with roofing. It's really hard to find women who want to do, you know, like such an aggressive job or sport. I don't know what I feel like a lot of women don't believe in themselves. So yeah. Does
your husband roof?
Yes, he does.
Okay, and do you guys work together?
We've been working together for 10 years.
Okay.
Over 10 years. So he was actually the one who taught me how to roof. He taught me how to shingle. He taught me how to do everything. So I met him a year into, I was just a laborer cleaning garbage.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some complexities with that? Because this is labor with a spouse. And I'll say, I even just work like in the office with a spouse. And there's certain things that it's just stressful. When it's stressful, it's hard. How do you deal with that? Like that aspect of working with hard labor with a spouse?
Well, my husband doesn't baby me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where I would even do either more or just as much as him. Sometimes it's the other way around. I feel like, well, we've been roofing together for a long time, so we kind of like, we work really well together. Like we know exactly what we're going to do next. So if we're shingling or prepping next to each other, we know exactly what the other person's going to do. So it just goes so smooth. But before that, when we first started roofing together, when I was trying to learn how to shingle, like he just didn't have the patience, and I would literally I had to force him to teach me because I just wanted to learn. And then he didn't have the patience, so he was like doing the hard stuff for me. And then okay, you got this now. And I'm like, I'm not learning anything if you're like coming in here and doing this part for me. So I had to like stop him from doing that and just like make him stand behind me and watch me do it so that I do it right. And then I was able to learn from there. Yeah.
Cool. How about, okay, so as a creator, back to the creator stuff, doing all these videos and stuff like that, do you have any tips for creators, other people out there trying to do a trade or roofing and also create these videos? Like, how do you balance I'm doing the work and then I got to go make this video? Does it sometimes feel a little distracting or anything?
Yeah, so like, this is why I don't, sometimes my content will get really dry because I don't feel like setting up my phone or anything, and that's also probably why I don't really talk to my camera that much. So I have a little tripod. I set it up in an area where I feel like I'm going to be for a while, and then I'll just go to work. So
I was kind of curious, we just did that reel with Littlest Roofer.
Yeah.
And she was falling off a roof. I don't know how she stopped, but she said, like how was that camera set up? She might have been a little distracted by the camera.
She probably had a little tripod or something.
Yeah.
And she sent me the video before she even posted that online. I was like, oh my God, girl. But she wanted to like build a plane out of like the valley metal, and she was gonna throw it, and she almost went down with it. So there was a jack and like a plank set up below that, so she landed on the bottom plank.
Stay safe out there creating your content.
Stay safe.
Like the main thing is to stay alive and to roof the house, not to create the content. Like,
well,
respectfully.
You know what? I've been roofing for over 10 years, over 11, I think. And I've never fallen off a roof, knock on wood, but I've never fallen off the roof. I've had like one serious injury where one of my workers forgot to cut out his vent hole, and I was working like in the middle part of the roof, and I went up to grab a bundle. And as I was walking back down, I was carrying a bundle in front of me, and I stepped in the vent hole. And he had like the shingle laying over it like it was just a shingled area. And I stepped in it, I dropped the bundle on my ankle, and I broke my ankle. So I have a plate and 6 screws inside my ankle right now.
When was that? I think I remember that.
This was like, I think like 4 years ago.
Okay, if I remember that, we've known each other a long time, but
yeah.
No, I think I remember you having the cast or something like that.
Yeah, there's some content out there.
Followed you for a while. Well, appreciate the tips on content creation. Any last tips to younger people joining roofing or joining the trades?
Just don't let it intimidate you. Like I feel like the first 2 weeks are the hardest. That's when your body's like adjusting to like the hard work and everything. But after 2 weeks, like your body will get used to it. So yeah, just keep doing it. Just don't give up.
So when your back is aching, that first week, it will adapt, you're telling us?
Well, you're going to get sore here and there, depending how hard you work, right?
Yeah.
If you truly believe in what you're doing and you want to be the best version of yourself and you want to build a great organization, there's no other place to do that besides the Roofing Academy.
So this is a little known story. I did roof for several weeks when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't tell people because they're probably like, I probably should know more, but all I was the guy that carried the shingles.
Okay.
And that is a back-breaking job.
So you're like packing bundles.
Yeah. So, and I do remember it being fun. That's why I remembered roofers fondly, because it was like a father-son duo or something like that.
Okay.
Roofing as a family.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I appreciate you being on. Where can somebody check you out online?
Just Google Roofer Girl. You'll find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah.
Awesome. And I suppose you're repping Prime Grip here at the show. Do you want to shout them out a little bit?
Yeah, special shout out to Primeline Tools, best roofing tools around.
Thank you for being part of it. Podcast is put on by hookagency.com. Hook Agency all over social media. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Awesome.